Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go over some technical analysis on 3 of our stocks that we cover on the channel. First of all, Tesla. Second, Amazon. Third, ZNOG, ticker symbol ZNOG. Typically, I would try to do that one on a Friday, but I will be unavailable tomorrow, most likely, in the afternoon, so I will not be able to do that. So I'm doing it now just to kind of go over a couple of things with you. So before we do, just to reiterate, not a financial advisor. Make sure that you do your own research. Also, if you find value in the video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, and hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can let you know every time we release new content. So let's get into it, guys. We're looking at Tesla first of all, and I did take profits on Tesla on, I believe it was Tuesday, the day before the Fed meeting, and I'm glad I did because it fell down, several percentage points from basically from around here. I decided to take profits actually here on about I think it was like 310, 311. And then eventually we got that sell signal and the markets finally started to kind of react to the news and the rate hikes and everything. And we broke below 297. We just currently broke below the red SMA line of 294.50. So in my opinion, I think that we're going to retest right here at about 275, 276, maybe 280. And at these levels here, that's where I'm a buyer, okay? And I'll be using that as a swing play back up to about 290, 295, maybe 300. But I do think that we come down and we retest these 275 levels, in my opinion. Now, if we break below that, you can see 245, and then you can go all the way down to 200. I don't know if we'll get there, but you have 275 here as your first level of support, and your resistance currently is at 297.97, which on a normal green day it could easily surpass that because it moves pretty aggressive, but it's just been kind of floating around these levels here, and it was going to go one way or the other. And when the markets came out and started doing poorly, we figured it was going to come down here. So I'm watching 275 to 280 range is what I'm looking at there for a potential swing play. The next one up, guys, is Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. I actually bought more today just because we were undervalued and it was underneath the buying target. I said anywhere from about 150 or below. I'm going to kind of consistently come in and buy and kind of nibble here and there, and I did buy some here. I think this was actually a really good buy point here at about the 115, 116, or even we're going to see here 117 level. This is pretty much what I bought at here, about 117. And if we break below 116.15, you're looking at about 100. If we happen to go all the way down to 100, that's whenever I'd come in and buy heavy. And this is definitely a longer term hold for me, probably 3 to 5 years on Amazon right here. So you have 116.50 is your support, 127.84 is your resistance. Got to get above about 133 and a hold in order to make a move to the upside and be consistently on a bullish pattern. Okay, last but not least, ZNOG, ticker symbol ZNOG. Looking to at least temporarily kind of find a bottom here at 16, which is kind of a good sign. It shows people are coming in and still buying and kind of holding the price up. Tomorrow is going to be a good indication of what's to come, I guess, for next week. I think people are still kind of factoring in, thinking that the announcement's right around the corner, and I think next week may be the end of Q3, so people may be holding on for next week, Monday, Thursday, and see how things pan out. But if we don't get anything next week by next Friday, then you could see a pretty decent dump off, in my opinion. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks, so it just hadn't happened. We're actually staying pretty steady at about 16 to 18 cents, which is good. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow on if we actually pop our head back up and maybe retest 19, or do we just consistently kind of go sideways as people are just holding out and waiting to see what the company does. I kind of think that's the case. I think we just kind of go sideways, and if we don't hear anything coming into next week, then some point next week, so specifically by the end of the week, in my opinion, you can come and retest that 16 cent mark and maybe even go down below it, okay? And then at that point, your overall floor is about 10 cents. We currently need to get about 22.5 to 23 cents in hold in order for us to confirm a bullish pattern and momentum up to the upside. basically the fib levels are the same. They have been for a while, and they'll stay like this for a while. So we're just waiting on volume, momentum, and of course news. Okay, and I just kind of have a feeling that we hear something next week. It may not be fully drawn out of what we want to hear, but I think that they're going to have to update us on something, because typically around this time when people start getting real antsy and you start seeing a bunch of negative stuff on Facebook, on stock quotes, on Twitter, and people are just like freaking out, almost like in panic mode. People are kind of losing their minds, and people start contacting the investor relations, which, by the way, we shouldn't have to do. We shouldn't have to beg them and bug them to release something, by the way. It's just kind of silly. So, but typically what happens is they'll kind of come out and say something at least, but I just hope it's a little bit more detailed than, well, we're still waiting or something like that. So we'll see. As soon as we get notification on the testing results, we're hoping that it's positive. And if that's the case, if we get positive news on that, this thing is going to move. Okay, we know that. This thing is going to rock and roll and move very, very aggressively. So I think everybody's just getting impatient and it's ready for it to happen, because some of us have been holding for quite some time. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you in this video. Let me know your comments below. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.